Okay, magandang madaling araw na naman. Oh, Tapos na tayo dun sa lesson natin about sa economic indicators and ituro ko na kung paano sila naka-classify at kung sila ba at paano sila nagfa-function depending doon sa lugar nila sa economic cycle. Kung sila ba ay lagging, leading, or coincident indicator. Ngayon dadako na tayo. Dahil tapos na natin yung economic indicator, pag-aralan natin yung dalawang basic part ng economy. O kaya two types. Hindi ko alam kung two types ba ito matawag. Which is the macroeconomics and microeconomics. So ito, sasabihin nyo, basic. Andali, o sige. Kung basic, pwede naman i-skip na lang to. Pero kung dahil naman nagbayad kayo, hindi pwede nyo pakinggan. Baka meron akong nasabi na hindi nyo pa alam or something o na-overlook nyo o hindi nyo agad nalaman na ganun. So, what is macroeconomics? Simulan natin siguro sa maliit. No? Doon muna tayo sa micro. Micro muna tayo sa maliit. Okay. From the word itself, no, micro, from the Greek word, means small. And microeconomics deal with the behavior of the individual participant in the economy. It can mean one consumer, one household, one firm, or one industry. Or simply a group or company, or group or a company level. Now, microeconomics focuses on issues that affects individual, let's say that individual sector or individual company. And this could mean studying the factors that affect supply and demand and everything pertaining to the scope of their level. So, the questions we aim to answer on microeconomics are, let's say, if the price of car goes up, what will happen to the demand? Now, if wages and income goes up, what will happen to the demand? And therefore, microeconomics is dealing with the individual parts of the economy. However, like I say, nagbanggit ako ng wages, no? And nagbanggit ako, di ba, ng wages, and however, that wages is part of the macroeconomics. So when we say microeconomics, to be very, sabihin natin, to be very layman's in caveman explanation, ganito yan. When we say that we are trading the stock market and we focus on one company, the structure of the company, the income of the company, the balance sheet, cash flow statement, what the disclosure of the company, we are studying microeconomics simply because we are on the scope of the micro level. Andun lang tayo sa sector, sa iisang sector. However, excuse me again, however, ganito, pag tayo lumabas na doon sa sector na yun o sa company na yun and we look at the scope of national level, doon tayo sa national, or let's say doon tayo sa international market, that means sa ganong sistema, no, i-adapt natin sa bigger picture, that means we're studying now the macroeconomics. So what is macroeconomics? Excuse me again. Macros means, in the Greek word, macros means in a Greek means big. In macroeconomics, we are interested on the whole economy, the country's unemployment rate, inflation, or gross domestic product. Macroeconomics focus on issues that affect the economy as a whole. It is a branch of economics that involves the study of behavior and performance of the economy on the bigger scale. It analyzes all economic indicators that helps the business and the government to formulate economic policies and strategies. Some questions we are trying to answer in macroeconomics are, what will happen if the central bank increase the money supply? What will happen if the central bank increase the interest rate? What causes the economy to grow over time? Now, micro and macro are interrelated. Hindi sila magkahiwalay. When the central bank raise interest rates, what will happen to the GDP? In micro perspective, how will the consumer react to the rate hike? How business will react to the interest rate? Okay, to further illustrate the difference or how the micro and micro, makikita naman natin, no? Ang difference niya is on size lang, sa size. Pero they are closely related. Halimbawa, ako yung nag-examine ng isang sector. Let's say ako yung nag-examine sa oil company o sa mga basket of oil companies. I'm looking at a certain level of, I'm looking on a certain sector lang. Diba? So, what concerns me what concerns me is the news that will affect that sector. So, paano naman, dahil nga sa microanalysis niya, pinag-aaralan ko lang isang sector, which is the oil industry, sa mga company involved, ano naman ang kinalaman ng macroeconomics doon? Because simply, macroeconomics is studying the broader scope. Ang oil market is traded in the world market. It is susceptible to the news of OPEC nations or other, masabi natin kung may gulo ba sa Middle East, meron bang sanctions sa Iran, meron bang demand sa mga first world nation kaya nagkakahigpitan ng supply. And that is how we combine, kahit tayo nasa micro level, nadadaanan din natin, nagiging concern natin yung nasa macro level. Ganun pa. Okay. Halimbawa, we are studying the mining industry, or we are focusing on the mining industry. Mining industry plus the manufacturing industry. Now, those sectors, yung mga sector na yun, is belong to the micro level. They belong to the microeconomics. Let's say, on the manufacturing sector, bakit tumaas ang presyo? Bakit bumaba ang profit? Those are the questions we try to answer on the manufacturing side and considering the consumer side, kung ano magiging epekto nun. So we're looking sa sector ng manufacturer and consumer or a certain sector sa manufacturing lang. So we are looking at the micro level. Pero pag tituntunin natin o hahanapin na natin yung mga factor that moves this sector, papupunta tayo sa macro level. We will look at the commodity in the world market. Ano nagpapagalaw doon? We were looking at inflation. We were looking at the overall demand, to the aggregate demand sa economy. So by looking at that, makikita natin na how microeconomics will relate to the macro level. Ang pinagkaiba lang naman nila is the sheer size. Because pag ako'y nasa micro level, I'm only studying a certain business, a certain group, a certain sector. But with all of that, kung pagsasama-samahin ko na yan, and I'm looking at the chain, sa chain niya, sa cycle, kung paano sila nagkaka-interact, just like studying the economy as a whole, then I'm looking at the macro level. So they are related, macro and micro economics. So I won't further stretch on that kasi that is very basic actually, and sana naintindihan nyo yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa. So that's lang naman, micro or macroeconomics.